Today's episode is the last episode in this month's series, which has been all about getting you set up for success when it comes to branding your passion this year. And this episode is going to be all about how to reach your audience other than social media. Obviously, social media is a big part of marketing. It is the go-to strategy for a lot of people to build their businesses and reach their audience, creatives included. But today I want to remind you that it's not your only option. Whether you are frustrated with social media, not getting what you want out of it, or it's just not your cup of tea, or maybe you just want some other ideas for ways to market your business in 2024, there are plenty of other ways to connect with people and bring in customers and clients to your business and garner opportunities to grow your brand. So let's jump right in and talk about the 9 different ways, and there are more, but these are just 9 ways to get you started to reach your audience this year.
Hello and welcome to Brand Your Passion, the show that helps you turn the thing you love the most into something that people know and love you for. I'm your host, Holly Arnett, the brand coach for creatives, and I'm on a mission to make the world a more creative place, one brand at a time. If you're ready to get more eyes on your work, more dollars in your pocket, and more creativity in your life, you're in the right place. Welcome. Let's brand your passion. Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Brand Your Passion. Today, I want to talk to you about some alternative ways to attract, connect with, reach your ideal audience that are not social media. Obviously, social media is a big part of marketing. It's a big strategy for a lot of people, creatives included, to reach their audience, right? And it's usually the first thing people think of. Okay, I want to build a business, get on Instagram. I want to reach my audience, I'm going to get on Twitter. This is just how the world works these days. But I want to remind you of a bunch of other things you can do in case you're like frustrated with social media, you're over it, you want to bring in some other ways of getting leads, whatever you want to do, whatever you're feeling right now. I just want to give you some other options and remind you that, hey, there are some other things you can do to reach your audience and bring in more people, grow your group of people who love your work, because that's what we're all about, right? We're here to help you find your people, share your work, grow your brand. Mwah. So there are a bunch of other ways to reach your audience other than social media. I have a list of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to talk to you about today. So let's get started. Number 1 is going to local events. So obviously those have kind of been on hold the past few years, but in pockets of the world those things are coming back. We're starting to do more local events and people are feeling maybe a little bit more comfortable going to local events. So that's awesome. So now you can think about, okay, what local events do I want to go to? That could be markets, it could be exhibitions, it could be talks, it could be panels, could be networking events, any of local things where there's a community of people that are hanging out in real life that you want to go along to, that you want to show your work at, that you just want to meet people at. These are great places to reach your audience. I used to go to so many events a few years ago, and I was the local host for Design Assembly, where I hosted design events in Wellington, and I met so many people who I still like connect with and learn from and love today. And going to those things, and I know that we talk about networking and people are like, oh, I hate it. Especially if you're like an introvert with social anxiety like I am. It can be a little bit stressful, but the more you go, the better it'll feel. You will get better at it, I promise. I'm testament to that. But local events are a great way to meet other people, either like other people doing similar things to you, or meet people who could be ideal clients and customers. The second way that you can reach your audience is speaking. So that could be in real life events like I was just talking about. Maybe you get on a panel or you get to do a talk of your own, whatever that might be. Or maybe you speak at like an online summit or you speak at some virtual events. Maybe you get a guest spot on a podcast like this one. These are great ways to reach people in your audience. I think I will have, maybe by the time you hear this episode, or I will be soon, speaking at the Designer Boss Summit, which is an entire online event where creative people are in attendance. So I am speaking at that event, and hopefully we'll reach a bunch of creative people who will hopefully love the things that I do, right? So speaking, doing talks, getting on podcasts, a great way to reach your ideal audience. Another kind of similarly in that vein idea, but not speaking, is like guest writing or being interviewed in like an article. So getting PR or opportunities to write or to be written about. So I've done guest writing for blogs like No Issue and Super High and Henry, all of which have audiences full of creatives, right? So I collaborated with them to write content and then get in front of their audience. You can also, like I said, be interviewed to be in like an article or something like that. ConvertKit, I know, does amazing interviews with their audience that then gets them in front of a whole new audience of people. So any kind of written feature is a great strategy for getting in front of your ideal audience. Also joining any online or local communities. So that could be things like the studio that we have. You want to come and hang out in there and get, people knowing who you are and supporting you and celebrating your work and all of that good stuff. But I mean, there are so many online communities, right? If you are an illustrator, I'm sure there are ones for illustration. My friends run a community for the designers. Like there are so many online communities out there and local ones. You can go on meetup.com, find meetups that are relevant to what you do. Up to you, online or in real life, but getting involved in a community is a really, really great way to get in front of more people and to meet your audience where they're at. There's like a Facebook group for everything, and not that Facebook groups are my favorite places to be, but like there are groups for everything. If you make like Star Wars earrings, I'm sure there are Facebook groups of people who love Star Wars. I am in a Facebook group for people who play Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, I'm a nerd and I love Pokemon, and people post Pokemon related stuff in there all the time. So if you were somebody who made Pokemon t-shirts, you would like nail it in there. You would find your people, you would be winning. So you can join online communities for kind of either like what you do or the kinds of things that you create around. There are so many communities, and there's a community for everything. Another tactic or strategy or approach for meeting and connecting with your ideal audience is by using Google and SEO. So we at Maker and Moxie get actually quite a lot of traffic to our website by focusing on our search engine optimization. So that means creating regular content that is like using keywords and following all the search engine optimization rules and guidelines and all of that stuff to get higher up in the rankings, so that when somebody searches like creative branding or brand strategy or any of the things that we talk about, we want to be high on the list of results, so that when somebody searches, they click through, they find me, they read an article, they download a freebie, and then they're on my email list, and then hopefully they work with us, right? That's kind of their overall idea. And you can do the same thing. Maybe people are searching for spooky illustration work and you want to rank for that. You can do some work on your search engine optimization to make sure that you come up first when people do that. Similarly, another kind of related strategy is by using Pinterest. So Pinterest as well drives a lot of traffic to our website for the same reasons. Pinterest I'm putting on here because it's actually not a social media. It is a search engine. So people search and find things on Pinterest. So you can publish your content, publish your work, do the same thing, use keywords, get up there when people are searching for certain things, and then they'll find you, discover you, and then hopefully engage and go through the whole rest of the customer journey. Moving on from like digital related things, you can also take it old school. Maybe you want to get in some magazines or newspapers. You're probably like, what the heck, Holly? Magazines and newspapers? Nobody does that anymore. But you're wrong, because I still love Frankie Magazine, and I find so many amazing creative people in Frankie Magazine, and it's one of my life goals to be in Frankie Magazine, right? So, and there are a bunch of creatives who I know are the same. There are university magazines, like both of the big universities here in Wellington have magazines, and I've found people on through that. And a friend of mine was telling me that if you reach out to those magazines and say, hey, I have some, like, I'm an illustrator or I'm an artist, do you need anything to be contributed? Do you need any poetry? Do you need writing? Do you need illustration work? Do you need photography? Can I put my stuff in? And they're super open to it. So getting yourself in magazines, either like your work being in there, or an interview about you, or a feature about you, or an ad in those magazines and papers. Smart marketing. Don't forget about print. Print is not dead, people. I'm telling you. And that's not just because I'm like an old school millennial who also happens to love printmaking. It's not because of that at all. You can also print other things like flyers, posters, business cards. Maybe you're at a market, you want to have flyers that people can take. You might put posters up in at your university or at your community space or at your local cafe. Don't forget about these like tried and true methods of reaching people where they are at. If you know that your audience like all hang out at this cafe, or they all go to this place for lunch, or they all like, I don't know, go to events at this venue, make the most of that. Put up some posters, get some flyers, hand out your business cards, get your printed magical material into their little hands. And last but not least is kind of social media adjacent, which is why I put it last, but is like sponsorships and collaborations with like brands or other people can be great ways to reach new audiences. So if maybe you have a sponsorship with like a brand that you love, or you collaborate with them, whatever it is, those are great ways to also get in front of bigger, different audiences. So those are my 9 different ideas, and there were like sub ideas in those ideas. So there's, hopefully many that you can take away with you, many ideas for how you can connect with your audience and reach them without using social media. So that was local events, speaking, guest writing or interviews, joining communities, using SEO, using Pinterest, getting in magazines and newspapers, printing flyers, postcards, business cards, and making the most of sponsorships and collaborations. 9 different ways for you to market your business without social media. So how do you then decide what ones of those to do? Because obviously don't try and do all of them. And you probably don't want to do all of them, and not all of them are going to be a great fit for everybody, right? So how do you decide what to do? Number 1, think about your ideal people and where do they spend time already? What media do they consume? What videos do they watch? What products and services do they buy? Where do they hang out? Like I said, if you know that they're already reading Frankie Magazine, get your booty in Frankie Magazine, etc. And then secondly, think about what you want. I talk about this all the time when I talk about like choosing your social media platforms and all of this stuff. Think about what you want to create. Do you love to speak? If so, then speaking is going to be your ticket to freedom and to winning. Is Pinterest your favorite place to be? Then use Pinterest. Are you all about collaborations? Then get on to those sponsorships and collaborations. Do you love nerding out on techie stuff? Try some SEO. Then choose the ways that are going to connect with your audience and that feel really, really good to you. And that's all you got to do. And then get at it. Go speak, go write, go get some ads, go print some posters. You have got this, and These are many ways that you can grow your brand, kick some ass, get more of your creative business in your life if that's what you want. So, hope as always that this has been helpful. Let us know if you have any questions. As always, keep creating, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Brand Your Passion and choosing to spend time with me learning all about branding, business, and all things creativity. You can find more episodes just like this one at makerandmoxie.com/podcast. If you like this one, you can tap that subscribe or follow button so that you're notified about each and every new episode. And if you've got a spare second, please leave a review on iTunes or wherever it is that you're listening to this podcast, because I would absolutely 100% love to hear from you. If there were some helpful goodies in this episode for you, it would mean the world to me as well if you could screenshot that podcast player right now, hop on over to Instagram or Twitter and tag us at Maker and Moxie. By subscribing, reviewing, and sharing, you're helping reach more creators just like you, so that together we can make the world a more creative place, one brand at a time. We can't achieve this mission without you, so your support means the absolute world. I will talk to you in the next episode, but until then, keep creating.